America's number one.
This is the heartbeat of the Caribbean.
WAVS 1170 AM.
Yes, sir. Okay, then. Now, this, I don't know if you guys listen to the song. This is Shabba Ranks. Are you familiar with Shabba Ranks?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. As a person that's coming from the gay fraternity, you should know who Shabba Ranks is.
Yeah.
Now, Shabba Ranks was the biggest dancehall artist in the history of dancehall. And at the peak of his career, that's when Boom Bye Bye was released. Now, Shabba Ranks was, I believe, in London, on a talk show.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, let me see if I can find this. He was asked a question about the Boom Bye Bye song, right? And this is how Shabba answered the question. He said, "Most definitely right now, from you forfeit the laws of God Almighty, you deserve crucifixion. I live by the concept of the Bible, which is the righteousness of every human being. And the Bible states that man shall multiply. The multiplication is done by a male and a female." Then the host says to him, "Shabba, that's absolute crap, and you know it." And you know what? That was a statement. Now, look at this. Look at it this way. This is the biggest dancehall artist, right? Getting ready to do a movie. His career is on top. And because he answered that question, the first question that was ever posed to a reggae artist like that, because he answered the question honestly from his cultural and religious background, he was shut down. His career, I'm not going to say it ended, but it definitely took a nosedive. Now, from your perspective, do you think that's fair?
Do I think it's fair?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an anecdote.
Please speak into it.
Okay, I'm going to give you an anecdote. I think it's an immediate reaction to something that's very strong, okay? But I work with somebody who 2 years ago, I work with Tim Hardaway, okay?
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, he made very strong statements against the gay community, basically saying that I should not exist. And 2 years later, I'm working with him, representing him. I'm gay. He knows it. And he's made genuine efforts to change that. So do I believe that ruining somebody's career is the right thing? No. But I think that in order to remedy that and rectify, you have to recognize that there's something, that there are implications that come with your words. And that's all we've got as human beings, are our words. There are implications when you are that big an artist or that big a public figure. Your voice will carry and will, it will move mountains if it needs.
But listen to what she just said, though. You know, 2 years later, she's working for Tim Hardaway, who made those so-called incendiary statements 2 years earlier. I heard the statement. I was listening to the radio when it happened. You know, I heard exactly what he said. He thinks they should be placed on a plane or island by themselves. Now, he's coming from, again, a cultural mores.
Right, but
that's where he's coming from.
Right.
Now, Tim Hardaway's career, he was already retired, but all of his business, stuff that he had started going south because of that. You know, in Levitard put it on ESPN and it went nationwide in a matter of minutes.
David Stern
now,
dropped him.
The fact that you were able to go and work with him and represent him 2 years later says that you've got a decent part in your heart. Because if you did not accept Tim Hardaway 2 years ago, you couldn't have worked for him today.
Well, does that not show that there is a level of tolerance, and the gay community has embraced him because he's made efforts and he's taken some steps to rectify what he did. But taking steps to rectify means that he's been sensitive to the issue.
Okay, and you don't think Butcher Banton has been?
How has he been? At least if there was an educative process, like understand why we feel this way. Take steps to understand why it is that the gay community feels this way.
Did the gay community take steps to understand why Buju Banton speaks the way he does, or act the way he does, or believe what he does, what he believes?
Well, I think we all understand that the culture, there's a cultural difference. There's a major cultural difference.
The same cultural difference Tim Hardaway
and
had.
but we understand that.
So
you know?
why is there no understanding with Buju Banton?
Because he's never taken steps, and he's not sensitive to the
Vanessa,
issue at all.
do you know any other songs by Buju Banton?
That he says anything about gays.
I'm saying, do you know anything? He has hundreds of recordings. How many songs by Buju Banton do you know?
But when is enough? Is it done?
No. I'm asking you a real question. How many songs by Buju Banton, aka Mark Myrie, do you actually know?
There's a couple.
Tell me one.
I don't know the names.
Okay, enough said.
Okay, Doc's done. What do you have to say, sir?
No, I was just listening to the idea of Abdul was saying what you were saying before about Tim Hardaway,
Right.
and how his businesses were affected,
Right.
and I think one of the things we have to realize then is clearly homosexuality is not a small group, because obviously if they can change your business, or if
Right.
they can have so much power and effect, then clearly there must be a well represented group.
Oh, absolutely. There's
And,
no
and the
denying
question becomes now, all right, as a group with political power, how do we coexist and not just brush them off to say, well, they should not have a place?
No one wants the gay community to be brushed off and placed in a corner. No one wants that.
I think some people do want that.
But even but the fact still remains that the gay community exists.
Yes.
And they're not going anywhere. But I think there is more pushback from the gay community wanting acceptance from the broader community that's rejecting it. And I think what is happening is that there is so much pressure being placed on the so-called other side of the thought process that there seems to be some unfairness there. I mean, the fact that Vanessa is now working with Tim Hardaway is a major step. Just within the thought process.
Well, I'm sure it's also a financial step.
Well,
Actually, it's not. Actually, I work for free. for
you know,
him,
but
so
the
it's
fact
not
that you're
financial.
able to do that, that's why I see there's a disconnect between what has happened with Tim and what is going on with Buju.
Okay, what do you have to say, Joy?
Well, I want to say that the Jamaican community has to really take this seriously.
Please speak in the mic.
We have to take this seriously because what I see on both sides a problem with tolerance. There's a bully mentality, I think, from some of the gay folks that feel that they should really step down hard because their lifestyle is being threatened and rejected, and that doesn't feel good for anyone. But on the other hand, Jamaicans have this sense of the right and wrong from the religious point of view, and the two have to.
It's clashing right
Yeah,
now.
it's clashing, but the bottom line is we have to accept people because they're human beings.
Right.
We're all here together. They're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We have to find a way to live together in harmony, and it doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone.
We're speaking with Joy McKenzie, Abdul Mushkin, Andrew Minot, Vanessa Brito, and of course Dax Dunn. This is Music Lessons. Yours truly, Luther Mack, and we're going to take a short break. We will return. Stay with me.